Hello, pineapples. It's Melody, and I interrupt this broadcast for a very special announcement. Here's a special announcement music. Do you like that from our little My First Xylophone book? Super cool. Anyway, I am so glad that you're here. I'm excited to be here with you to share something that I normally don't share. Okay. Let me be totally honest with you, like I would lie, but I really struggled, and I'm even nervous right now, kind of, about should I share this with you? Not because I don't want you to know how much money I make, but because, it's kind of a sensitive topic, and I know from experience how hurtful the comparison trap can get. And I would not want anyone to look at my business and say, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Just forget it. Because you don't see what I do. It's like the thing, don't compare your inside to someone else's outside, right? So I don't want you to compare your business to mine. But since I rarely talk about the money like this, I really think it's time to do that, because I was so inspired by Wendy Dykema's great live today over in Flamingos about loving your business. And this is a business. And I know for me, I get lots of warm fuzzies from the relationships and hanging out together on Zooms and the fun gifts. I love all that. That's what makes me happy. But if you're watching this, even though you might be like me and you might love the social interaction and adult conversation, if you're watching this, odds are that you joined Usborne because you thought just maybe you would be good at this. Just maybe you can make enough money to pay the gas bill, or to pay off your car, or to pay off your credit cards, or like me, to take your kids to Disney World. So money is a factor. And like Wendy said, this is a business. So I am going to share with you today how much money I've made with Usborne the whole time. So isn't that exciting? I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I've got my little handy dandy whiteboard because I've just discovered I really love whiteboards. All right, so next month, actually the day that we embark on our Disney cruise, will be my 4-year Usborne anniversary. So we just got taxes in the mail, right? And I'll tell you a funny story about that later. Okay, so I started in March of 2014. My 2014 earnings, I believe this is right. I don't quite remember, but I think it was around, I made $12,000 my first year. Now, a lot of that, was put back into the business, and there's still a lot of investing, like when you buy books for yourself or, giveaways, stuff like that. But I was really proud of my $12,000 my first year. My second year, 2015, hey, Danelle, glad you're here, was $40,000 my second year. Pretty awesome, right? I was really surprised. Now, here's the funny story. My husband was like, oh, good job, sweetie. And so for this year, we didn't, keep any receipts. We didn't really do much with taxes. And then we got my return, and he's like, Melody, you made $40,000. We owe the IRS $10,000. Yes, friends, yes. My husband thought this was, just a fun little thing that Melody's doing. She's really not making any money. So we didn't put away any money for taxes. And so we spent all of 2016 paying our $10,000 to the IRS. So that stunk. So put away money for taxes. We now do quarterly taxes. Anyway, so look at that jump. $12,000 my first year to $40,000. And the only difference that I can see is because I was still doing parties like crazy. And the difference is that this year I was a team leader. I was a team leader for this whole year. I promoted the middle of this year, so we had some of this year as team leader, but in 2015, I was a team leader the whole year. This is what being a team leader does, guys. This is the business part. That's why, it is a fun hobby, like Wendy said today. It can be a really fun hobby. You do not have to pursue this, like a business. It's a fun hobby. The books are great. However, this is a legitimate career path. Okay, look what I did in 2 years. All right, now also, before I did Usborne, I was a teacher, and I taught in actually the high school that I went to, but the salary that I was paid as a teacher was $30,000. And I worked my tail off. I mean, if you're a teacher, you work your tail off. So I was really happy when I passed that mark, then my teacher income. Heidi knows. Heidi's a teacher. All right. Last year, I made $50,000 last year. And luckily we had saved for taxes. So that is really nice. Okay, so good. It's $50,000. And then last night, or maybe the night before, we got our the tax thingy. See, I don't even know what it's called. The tax thingy from Usborne. Okay. Any guesses? Anybody want to comment? What do you think I made this year? Think it went up? Think it went down? Wow. I'll just share with you. $61,000. Isn't that crazy? Oh, I wish, Jane. I wish 75. Maybe next year. Yeah, Heidi, you're close. Yep. I made $61,000 this year. And I was a director here. I was also a director here. But look at the big jump, guys, right here. If you do want to do this as a career, look, you can. I did it. I'm doing it. But did I start with this? And here's where people get so off track, is that they join and they say, oh, well, Melody's, making $60,000. I can do this too. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got a Facebook page. Let's go. And they don't, you have to start. You can't, most people, of course there are exceptions, but most people, you have to work your way up. Just money-wise, just kind of figuring out what you're doing. There's a really great analogy that Nancy Ann Wortman used one year, and she said, when you are just learning to tie your shoes, it takes forever, right? But then when you practice and you learn how to tie your shoes, now we can all tie our shoes lickety-split, right? It takes no seconds to tie our shoes. But when we were beginning, it took a long time. And when you start this business, it seems like, man, parties, I got to make a script. I have to reply to all these comments. This takes forever. And a lot of people, they don't continue. What if I had stopped here? What if I had gotten to my first, dry spell, and we all have them. I know many of you are going through a dry spell right now, and that's okay. That's part of it, guys. That's just part of the business. It's not always, parties, parties, parties. That's why the fall is called the crazy fall selling season, because it's nuts. Everybody wants to party, but not everybody wants to party right now, right? The demand is a little less, and that's okay. It's going to come back. And there are other ways to do business, which is, the school and libraries, or book drives are so great, cards for a cause. There's other things to do to make income during the dry spells with parties. But I just share this with you because I went to college, right? I did go to college, and thousands of dollars to go to college, lots of crazy other expenses, right? Actually took 5 years for college, because I took jogging, and I took exercise, and tennis, which, because I was one of those party girls. And I got some party girls on the team with me, Meg and Mary. But anyway, so we're not party girls now. We're nice mommies, soccer moms. But like this is 4 years, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 years I've been with Usborne. This is like going to college. A lot of people spend more than this to go to school, to get out of college, to maybe make that. You know, of course they could make higher, but a starting salary, depending on what job it is, you know, that's a nice starting salary. I didn't have to go to college for this. I just had to sit in front of my computer and learn. I had to go do home shows. I had to go do Facebook parties. But the beauty is I could do all of that in my time and in my schedule. I could pick up my kids from school in between. Now I'm homeschooling Anna, so I can just do this in the pockets of time that I have. But I'm just saying that, you know, I share this with you because even though I'm very blue and I wouldn't want anyone to feel, you know, hey, look at me, look at how much money I'm making, I do want to show you that this is a potential career path for you. And maybe some of you are making more than this. I don't know. But if you're not making this and you want to make this, I thought, okay, what advice could I share with you today? Just like 3 top things, okay? And of course, I wrote it down right here. All right. So really quickly, the first thing is to decide. And that's so important to just decide that you're going to do this. If you've read the book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins, she says, you know, commit to 5 years. You got to give the company you're with 5 years. Because look, again, what if in 2014, I had my first, you know, dud month and I said, well, you know what? My friend circle ran out. Nobody wants to have a party. I think I'm done. I'll try something else. Look what I would have missed out on. So just decide. Know that you're going to have dud months. I'm going to have dud months. That happens. It happens. But decide. So take that off the table. Okay, I'm giving this 5 years. Or, you know, if you have to give it less, I'm giving it, y'all, at least give it 3 years. I mean, 3 years would have gotten me to here. So, I mean, what's going to happen next year? Who knows? But I'm so glad I'm sticking around, right? And so when you commit and just decide, it takes that off the table. That's off your mind. You're not going to quit, and you can focus your energy elsewhere. And the good thing about this is that every part of our business, every single part, is something you can learn. There are no special qualities about me that you don't have. Everything that I'm doing is something that I learned from somebody. So you can learn it. You can master the words to say to share with people about the books. You can master the words to say to have a great, you know, home party, or you can come up with a great script. These are all things you can learn, you can practice, and we earn while we learn, which I think is so great. So just decide and the second one is to be proactive. When I started, we didn't have all these really awesome tutorials and website. We didn't have that. If I wanted to learn something, I just went out there and learned it. I Googled it. I did a YouTube search for stuff. I practiced. Oh my goodness, y'all! On my way to home parties, I made a script because a part of the home party is sharing like your story and, you know, why you do Usborne and sharing the opportunity. And so what I did is I wrote this script. I wrote it out and I recorded myself reading my script. And then I made it into an audio file and I downloaded it onto my phone or whatever. And I would listen to it all the time when I was driving. And that's how I memorized my home show script, because I, you know, recorded myself doing it. But just that part of, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to become good at this. I'm going to master the home party, which is what I did my first year. Or I'm going to master the Facebook party. If you find some scripts that you like or messaging, wording that you like, keep it in a little Word file or an Evernote note. And, you have the words there. You don't have to reinvent yourself for every party, which is what I love. But be proactive. Do something. If you want to make this work, go find a way that you can make it work, which leads to number 3. Small things consistently. This took me a while to really learn, because I'm kind of, go all in, go big or go home. And I learned that with this business, you really, or at least me, I really couldn't do that because of the dry spells that you get. I realized kind of early on that that I wasn't going to quit. And whenever I got my first dry spell, I wasn't going to quit. But what could I do instead? Okay, obviously no one's booking parties right now. What can I do? Okay, well, I can make videos. I can do a quick little video. I can, organize my stuff, all the backstage stuff. I mean, that's a great thing to do in your dry spell. Or I could do a book fair, or I could do cards for a cause. I did a reach for the stars. But I don't know, just realizing that, small things. Oh, that didn't make any sense what I just said. Okay, see, I'm kind of flustered. We talked about numbers and I get flustered. Okay, small things consistently, daily business habits in your schedule. Yes, okay. So, doing things small at a time. You cannot control if someone books a party. You cannot control if someone joins your team. You have no control over that. But what we all do have control over is our effort, right? We can control how many messages we send. We can control how many times we post on our business page. That's something that we can control. We can control how many audio trainings we listen to learn more. So just doing small things. And so for me, it was taking, instead of being like, okay, I'm going to do a million things and do them really well, I had to say, okay, this is what I'm doing today, and break it down into small little chunks. So this is what I would encourage you to think about if you want to make career income. Now, again, not doing this to toot my horn, but doing this to show that if you're at a hobby level right now and you're thinking about, can I really do this? Do people really make money doing this? The answer is yes, they do. And this is not even, y'all, in the director world, this is not a lot. There are many directors who are making 6 figures. I do not do a lot of parties personally, just because that's not in my schedule right now. These first 2 years, I did tons of parties, tons. And my husband said, Melody, you've got to pull it back or you've got to quit because we miss you. And so I was realizing I was doing Usborne to my family, not for my family. So this 3rd year, that's when I switched to social media because I had to do it. The business had to become invisible to my family for me to keep doing it. So anyway, I don't know where that was going, but all that to say, so I don't do a lot of parties now, like at all. I just do my social media stuff because I like to be with my husband at night and my kids. So I work a little bit at night, but I try to work during the day when I can, when I'm not busy with Anna. Anyway, all that to say, there are many directors who still do 8, 10, 15 parties a month, and they're making over $100,000. Now, there's situations, and here's where the comparison trap can come in. You have to remember, everyone's situation is different. Your journey is going to look different from my journey. But, man, I am so glad I didn't give up after 1 year. I am so glad I promoted to team leader because this would not have happened just on commission, like my own commission. That wouldn't have happened. And so, man, I'm so glad I stuck around for 3 years. Awesome. I'm so glad I didn't quit last year during the by design stuff that happened. Goodness, if you were around last fall, friends, like 2 falls ago, not this current one, but the one before that, in 2016, it was terrible. Books were taking a month to ship out. It was crazy. People were asking for their money back. People were quitting left and right. It was terrible. But I'm so glad I didn't quit. So you just never know how God is going to use your business to bless your family, to bless others. And I just want to encourage you that if you are in a dry spell, first off, if you're on a dry spell, just decide that you're not going anywhere. You're just going to learn right now, and you're going to commit to doing small things consistently. Meaning, okay, every Monday, I'm just going to message 10 people. Every Monday, I'm going to message 10 people to try to get bookings. That's my Monday thing. On Mondays, I book parties. And just make that a thing you do every Monday. Every Wednesday, I'm going to send, 2 follow-up messages to, to people. Whatever it is for you. Anyway, I hope that helps a little. I'm sorry I rambled. I do that a lot. Just have to get used to it, I guess. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Oh, and also, if you're a hobbyist, you can make money. I mean, so now I've doubled. This was my teacher's salary when I was a teacher. So I've doubled my teacher's salary, which is so great. And I don't have to grade any papers, Heidi. I'm not grading any papers. Yay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about stuff, just let me know. And I know that a lot of us are kind of in a dry spell, but don't be discouraged. I don't want you to think you're doing anything wrong or that you're not good at this. This happens to everyone, and it happens like every year. So that's what's good, is that you realize, so this is my 4th year in, it doesn't freak me out anymore. I'm not like, oh no, I'm never going to have a party again. No, you will. You absolutely will. But this is when you go back to your small daily tasks so you feel productive, you're accomplishing things, and, just keep on keeping on. You guys are doing great. I am so honored that you're on this team, that we're on this adventure together, and I just want to help you make out of your business whatever it is that you want out of it. Maybe you don't want that kind of income. Maybe you're good. Maybe you just want the books at a discount. I'm here to help you do that too. Or maybe $61,000 is not enough for you. Maybe you're like, Melody, that's great, but I need $100,000 because we're going to build our dream house. Awesome. I can help you with that. Let's make a plan and make it happen. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.